Well, you have all received an email today from CFAI telling you about the changes to the December exam. Well, I shouldn't say changes to the December exam. The options you have open now for the December exam. So let me just, this is a frequently asked question document that I've received. I'll go through it at the end of this video, but I'm just going to highlight some things now. Along with Level 1, Level 2 and Level 3 exams are now going to shift from paper-based to computer-based testing starting in 2021. So this December is the final paper-based test for the CFA exams at all 3 levels. Level 1 will be offered 4 times per year if you're already registered for the February 2021 exam. Then this applies to you going forward. There's no new information here. There'll be 4 sittings a year for Level 1, and Level 2 and Level 3 will be offered 2 times a year. So let's break down the choices you have. Then we'll look at a progression that makes sense, how you can progress through the levels and what dates you can sit for. And then we'll return to this document at the end and look at some frequently asked questions that have been anticipated. They're not frequently asked because they haven't been asked yet, but it's anticipated that these will be much asked questions, so we'll go through a bunch of those. All right, let's go through our options here, and we're going to group candidates into, I think we have 4 buckets that we can group them in. So as I get to each description, you can decide whether or not that sounds like you or not. Let's say that you are a Level 2 candidate that was registered for June, and of course you got deferred, but you have not made any choice yet. This is about you now. You haven't made any choice yet. Your choices are very simple. You'll either register for December or you'll select one of the 2 computer-based testing windows, whether it be May or August. I see no reason to wait for August, really. You may as well select May, so I think your choice is between December and May. You have until August 19th to choose December. After that, it's off the table. So as far as August 20th goes, you have no choice but to choose 2021. If there's a reason why December makes sense to you, then select December. But if you're looking at the situation, you're saying, you know what, I really don't know what to expect. Maybe you're in an area where it's looking like it's going to be worse for longer before it gets better. Maybe you don't want to be in a room with all those people. Maybe you don't want to have to wear a mask because, as we'll see a little later, CFAI is not going to dictate to you what you need to do. It's going to follow whatever regulations are required in the geography that you're in. So if you're in a city which says everybody wears masks everywhere they go, then you have no choice. CFAI will say, look, it's not us, it's them. They're going to follow whatever protocol is there. If a particular country cancels, only the testing centers in that country won't happen. But as far as CFAI is concerned, the exam is 100% going to happen unless they can't do it. Unless they're told that they can't do it, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen according to the protocols in the area that you happen to be in. You don't want to take that chance? Well then, you can pick May 2021. On the next screen, we'll look at exam progression, and maybe that might help you decide between the 2. Okay, so that takes care of those of you who were registered for June 2020 and haven't made a choice yet. You had until September 10th. Well, that's gone. You now have until August 19th. So you've lost about 3 weeks of time to get into the December exam. Let's look at the group that is currently registered for the December exam. That you've already made your choice. I'll write in December. But now it's looking like, well, maybe you don't want to do that. You have until October 20th to get out of December. So just to be clear on the times, if you're trying to get into December, you got to do it by August 19th. If you're trying to get out of December, you have all the way to October 20th to decide to get out of December and move into either May or August. And again, I see no reason why you would want to jump all the way to August at this point in time. I think you'd probably just want to jump into May. Third group, you decided you got bumped off the June exam, and instead of choosing December, you chose next June, under the understanding that you were going to write a paper-based test. Well, we know that anything in 2021 is going to be computer-based, and maybe you're saying, whoa, 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 wait a minute here now. When I made the decision to go to June, I didn't make the decision to go to June and computer-based testing. Those are two decisions. Maybe you're okay with that. And by the way, it's not June, it'll be May. And when they say May, it's like the last week in May. It's a week earlier than it normally would have been. So that's not a big deal. But maybe you want to write it on paper. You can elect to move back to December. So just to be clear, you were postponed from June. You chose not to do December. You chose next June. But now you're learning that it's going to be computer-based, not paper-based. And if there's some reason why that bothers you and you'd like to go back to December, you can. I don't know that that's a good argument, saying, well, I want to write on paper. Because December is the last paper-based exam. So even if you say, well, I don't want to write on paper anymore, well, tough. Level 3 is going to be on paper, which means you're going to have to do the morning session. Level 3 is going to be computer-based for you, which means you're going to have to do the morning session on the computer anyways. So if you're level 2 saying, I don't want to write on the computer, you're going to have to anyways. So you may as well at least see what it's like at level 2, where all you have to do is click a radio button for A, B, or C, as opposed to actually type in constructed response answers. So unless there's some real good reason why a computer-based test is just not going to line up with the way that you prepared, I see no reason to switch back to December. In fact, I think if you've already selected next June, you did it for some very good reasons. I don't see a reason why you'd want to go back. However, CFAI said, look, there could be a reason why somebody said, wait a minute now, wait a minute. I didn't agree to computer-based testing. I agreed to paper-based testing. I don't like this idea. Then this is what they're leaving open for you, is that you can hop back into December if you want. You have until August 19th to make that decision. I don't see why anybody would want to go backwards. When we look at the question and answers, we'll look at the new format of computer-based testing. Let me just throw some of these things out for you. 4.5 hours instead of 6 hours. So you have fewer questions. The weightings are still the same. The minimum passing score is still determined the same way. There's a committee that actually sets the minimum passing score. So there is no advantage to saying, well, I'll take computer-based testing over paper-based because it'll be easier to pass. There's no disadvantage either. It won't be more difficult to pass. It's the same. It's exactly the same. If you would have passed on paper, you'll pass on computer-based testing. If you fail on computer-based testing, you would have failed on paper. So there is no advantage or disadvantage to doing it. It's shorter. And not everybody shows up all at one time. You have a 10-day window where you get to pick the date that you want, which means you have fewer people in that room. 192 testing centers are now going to be 400 testing centers. So yeah, significantly fewer people in each room. The big thing is, if you're done, you can get up and leave. Not so much in an exam center. You go to an exam center, everybody in at the same time, everybody out at the same time. Well, those are two big bottlenecks where you got a lot of people together. So with social distancing, you know that it's going to be a lot longer getting in there and a lot longer getting out. Your day, that exam day, just got super, super long. But in May, 4.5 hours is your writing time. You can get in faster, you can get out faster. You don't have to wait for everybody. You get to just leave. So logistically, May is just so much prettier. And as far as health concerns wise, I think May is so much safer as well. So if you are all ready for June, you're going to want to go online and just back up to the May date and select the May date. I don't see why you'd want to go all the way back to December. And finally, the fourth group, it's not on there yet. The fourth group are people who have not even registered for level 2 at all. Registration's open August 20th. On August 20th, you are free to select your dates It says here May, August, and November 2021, open August 20th. May and August for 2021 are the two dates, the two exam dates for level 2. For those of you on our site or that are subscribers to our site, if you are selecting the December 2020 exam, the cost is $330 Canadian. Those of you who have selected have paid $330 Canadian. If you are moving into 2021 or selecting 2021, the cost is $340 Canadian. I should say if you're selecting, not if you're moving, because if you're moving, here it is. If you had already registered on our site for December 2020 and you now making the decision to move to 2021, you can do that. If and we had two prices. We just raised our price $5 in the middle of the year last year. If you paid $325, it's $15 to go from $325 to the $340. If you paid $330, it's $10. We're giving 100% of the 2020 purchase price towards 2021, and that gets you access all the way to June 15th. Because you're going to select May, I see no reason why you'd want to go to August. I can't think of a good logical reason why. You're going to select May. It happens at the end of May. And you have up until August 19th to make this decision. Those of you who don't make that decision on our site, if you're already a subscriber, if you don't make that decision, we will assume on August 20th that your intention is to write December 2020. And your access will last till December 15th. So if you are moving to 2021, it's either $15 or $10 depending on whether you paid $325 or $330, and that gives you access to June 15th, 2021. You have up until August 19th to make that decision. Let's look at the next screen and let's look at the progression of the exams that you can follow. All right, here's our possible progressions. And when we look at the progression, whether we're sitting for December 2020 or May 2021, the choices that you make, there's no clear advantage on either one, so it comes down to a personal preference. But let's start with December 2020. You sit for December 2020, you pass, you can be sitting for level 3 in May of 2021. You might have been planning to sit in December, thinking you're writing in June. This is May, it's a month earlier. It's not really a month earlier. This is end of May. The other exam would have been beginning of June, so it's like a week, or you'll lose a week. It's like a week earlier in there, which means after you write the December exam, you're going to want to start studying level 3 right away if you haven't been following the tapering strategy. And you could write that in May of 2021 if you pass. Next stop is the charter. A little asterisk here means, you got to satisfy that 4-year work requirement. If you don't make level 2 in December 2020, you can sit in May 2020 for level 2 again if you fail there. And if you pass there, well, then you would be on this stream sitting for level 3 in November 2021. If you had selected the May 2021 date instead of the December 2020 date, then once you pass there, you can still sit level 3 2021. Either way, you're done. You'd be done by the end of 2021. Of course, the asterisk with the charter there. There's no clear benefit one way or the other. Level 1 has a clear benefit to wait to February as opposed to December. It's a much cleaner timeline if they wait till February. Here, there's no real, I can't really point to the timeline saying, well, look, this is a much stronger argument over here. So it really comes down to the decision you want to make about this date, because there's really nothing else that'll tip the scale. So you really have to ask yourself a personal question. Are you okay in the area that you're in to be in a room with other people? Now, in some countries, I'm sure that some people there would say, yeah, we're good over here. We did all the right stuff. We're good over here. It's not that bad. And in other countries, you may say, well, no, it's not looking good, and it looks like it's going to get worse before it gets better. Understand one more time the point from the earlier screen that if you are already registered for this one, you have until October 20th to get out into 2021. So you have some time. You've got the luxury of time because you're already registered for that one. So you have till October 20th to get out of there. If you haven't made up your mind yet, you only have till August 19th to get in to that one. So you don't have a lot of time to think. So if you haven't registered, yeah, you kind of have to forecast a little bit, and being this far out, well, your forecast may be off, but those who are registered by October 20th, there is some time to think about it. And then if you take level 2 in 2021, then you can sit for level 3 in November of 2021. For those who have not registered for level 2 at all, this is the earliest that you can register for. And registration here opens up August 20th. Okay, I'm going to just go through some of the more interesting ones I've highlighted here on the PDF I got. Most of these, I believe, you'll find online at CFAI's site. Anyways, the email you got probably had links to these, and you might have gone through them already. But I'm going to highlight the interesting ones. So, is the December exam paper-based for all levels? Fast answer: yes. If you are going to write in December, level 1, level 2, level 3, it's all paper-based, and it is the last paper-based exam. When will December 2020 exam registration close? August 20th. So if you are trying to get in to the December 2020 exam, you have until August 19th, 2020. I said August 20th, sorry. August 19th, 2020. Starting August 20th, that's dead in the water. So again, if you're trying to get into December, you have till the end of August 19th. If you're in December trying to get out, you have all the way to October 20th. I registered for December, but would like to switch to a 2021 exam. Can I do that? Yes. Changes from your December exam registration to another will be accepted until the 20th of October. And that's for all 3 levels. Level 1, Level 2, Level 3. If you are registered, right now your name is on a list to sit in December. You have all the way till October 20th to say, you know what, I'm out of here. Give me 2021. I would really prefer to take a paper-based exam. Can I move my registration to December? And this is for level 2 and level 3 only that have decided, I don't want to write in December. I'll write in June because you deferred till June. Yeah, you can go back and write in December. This is not for level 1 that registered for February. You don't get that choice. If you registered for February computer-based testing for level 1, none of this applies to you. So there's no, other than what we just saw with the progression through the levels, none of it applies. It's only level 2 and level 3 where this applies. As for level 2, I really don't think there's much of a decision here. The computer-based testing seems to be far superior, and even if you move back and write on paper, your level 3 is going to be computer-based testing anyways. You may as well do it at level 2. Level 3, I can see where you would say, you know, it's my last one. I wrote the first 2 on paper. Suddenly writing on a computer, that's going to throw me off a little bit, especially for the AM. I've trained to write it on paper. I have all my little shortcuts that I like drawing out. Well, yeah, I can see how a level 3 would have a good argument to make about why they would want to finish the exam on paper, because it is your last one. Level 1 and 2, that argument doesn't really work because you're going to have to hit the computer to write an exam anyways. But level 3, maybe not. What if my area does not allow for the test to be held? Exams will be administered everywhere we are permitted to do so, following local health and government policies and appropriate measures such as social distancing. And could be masks, face shields, whatever the case is. So here's the information that I received. If a whole country says no exams, then it's only that country. This exam in December is going to happen everywhere it's allowed to happen. Everywhere it's allowed to happen. The other thing we'll find out later is if you were scheduled for June and you got deferred to December, the big deal there was no refunds, right? Let's say you get to December and it's canceled in your area. That's the second time it's happened to you. They will open up refunds. If you get deferred again for the second time, they will give you the option of a refund at that point in time. But As far as the probability of the exam happening, from CFAI's point of view, it is 100% going to happen. As far as it not happening, that's all up to your individual governments. So there's no point in sending an email to CFAI saying, well, what if it's this, what if it's that? CFAI will just say, whatever your government says. If your government says everything is fine, we're good. If your government says social distancing and everyone wears masks, then social distancing and everyone wears masks. So you would look at what your local regulations are. I know here in Canada, there are some cities that have required masks to be worn by everybody in public. Others are saying masks only when social distancing isn't permitted. Some stores won't let you in without a mask. Some stores do. So the area I'm in is very flexible like that. Whereas other cities, not so much. Let's see, how will I know my exam will be impacted by the virus? As the December exam date gets closer, we will react to specific situations, inform candidates of our plans, what protocols will be in place for December. And again, this comes down right to your local jurisdiction, monitoring the situation as it continues to evolve, planning for how to safely administer exams. We will communicate local protocols for each test area to December registered candidates in advance of the test date in accordance with local guidance. So all you got to do is keep your eye on your own local government, and that'll be the rule. Let's keep going here. Computer-based testing exam schedule. For 2021, Level 1 and Level 3 are what they'll be every year after that. Only Level 2 changes. So Level 1 will be February, May, August, and November every single year, 4 times a year. Level 3 will be May and November every year, every single year. In 2021, Level 2 is May and August. After that, it'll be February and August. So you'll have February for Level 1, Level 2, May for Level 1, Level 3, August Level 1, Level 2, November Level 1, Level 3 on 2022 going forward. The only difference in 2021 is that the Level 2 exam is May and August. This May, after 2021 is done, this May is gone, and it will always be February and August. This is important as well. How often can a candidate take the exam? Candidates will not be able to register for adjacent windows. So let's see what that means. It means if you're Level 1 and you wrote in February and you failed, you cannot register for May. Adjacent windows means February and May, May and August, August and November. But you can write a February exam, skip May. You can write an August exam, skip November, come back to February. You can write that. So you have to skip each one. So if you write Level 1 in February, you can write Level 2 in August. You would have to skip November and come all the way back to, well, May would be the next Level 3. But you cannot write in February, Level 1, fail, then write in May, fail, then write in August. If you fail in February, you must go to August. You cannot write in adjacent windows. I think we get that, right? For example, a Level 1 candidate who takes February 2021 administration and does not pass may not sit again until the August administration, or a Level 2 candidate who passes the exam during the August administration will not be able to sit for the Level 3 until May 2022, because if you pass in August, the next exam window is November. You cannot sit for adjacent windows. You got to skip November, and Level 3 is not available in February. It's May. The 2021 dates open to all candidates or only those who postponed. Will be open on August 20th to all candidates wishing to register. So you can deselect December, and as of August 20th, you can go online when these open up and say, okay, I don't want to write December, I'll take this date in 2021. Will December candidates receive results in time to register for May? Yes. We will ensure the exam registration window will remain open following results release to allow December candidates the opportunity to register for the May exam. Standard registration fees will apply. And again, I just highlighted what I thought was important here. The passing score calculations and standards will remain unchanged. So candidates who complete a computer-based exam will be held to the same standard as those who completed a paper-based exam. So if you're thinking strategically that it would be harder or easier to pass based on computer-based versus paper-based, The passing score will be set in exactly the same way, which means there's no advantage. And there's no disadvantage. Can candidates use paper to work out exam answers during computer-based exams? Yes, you can. You'll have some scratch paper where you can do all your messy work on before you go to the computer. Candidates will be provided with writing materials to use during computer-based testing exams. Will the structure of the exams change under computer-based testing? And this gets really interesting. The length of all exams will be shortened, so the total testing time is reduced from 6 hours to 4.5 hours. That's an hour and a half of your life back. Number of questions will be reduced so that candidates will have the same average time per question that they had under paper-based testing. Will the format of test questions change? Level 1 exam will continue to be in a multiple choice format. Level 2 and Level 3, we will be using the same item set and essay format that we have used in the past. Just as before, all questions are written by a team of experienced charter holders, and all questions come directly from the curriculum and are reviewed to be sure they are consistent with the expectations set in the LOS, the Learning Outcome Statements. Will topics be weighted differently? Topic weights have not been altered. There'll just be fewer questions. Percentage ranges for each level can be found on the Institute website. And again, I found nothing interesting there. Will I get my results more quickly? Although there may be some efficiencies gained through the use of computer-based testing, the process of establishing the minimum passing score is still in place. That's why there's really no advantage or disadvantage moving from paper to computer-based testing. As always, Level 3 exams will be graded by a team of knowledgeable graders. We do not anticipate results to be released significantly faster. So, there you have it. Calculator policy will be the same. Short answer, yes. There are only two the Texas Instrument BA2 Plus or the HP12C. When is the new curriculum released? The curriculum will remain the 2020 version throughout all exams for all levels in 2021. New curricula will be released for the 2022 exams when those registration windows open. And have we got anything else? Here are fees and refunds. I've already explained the fees and refunds if you get bumped twice. So anybody who was registered for June and got bumped, that's number one. If you stay in December and that gets canceled in your region, that's twice. Yes, you would qualify for a refund at that point. You could say, you know what, give me my money back. I'm going to sit back and wait a couple years for this all to blow over. I think that was it. Yes, I hope I answered all the questions that need to be answered. And there's more on the CFA website, but I think I've hit all the highlights. I believe Thursday afternoon on the Reddit platform, CFAI is going to have an Ask Me Anything session, and I think they have 2 people attending that one. So if you have any outstanding questions, you can look for that Reddit link. I'll try to put it on my link. I'll try to share it on my LinkedIn account as well. You can look for that Reddit link, and they'll have an Ask Me Anything on this Thursday coming up.